Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's garden life that we typically put up on Sunday, but because of some timing issues, you're going to see it today. I am finally going to do a requested video. Many of you have asked me to do a get ready with me, and I'm finally going to do that. I've always felt a little bit self-conscious because I thought, I don't know, I am no makeup expert, but whatever. I guess we're going to try to do it just for you because you requested it. And then just a little bit about how I'm trying to live a healthy lifestyle. It definitely feels like fall around here. It's gotten cool. I'm starting my day, as I always do, out in the morning with a cup of coffee. And I'm just enjoying the different autumnal vibes that I'm getting now versus the hot summer. And we got some rain, so that's absolutely wonderful. So what do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But before I get ready for the day, I'm going to hop on my Averon, which is, I'm trying to start as part of my morning routine. Another part of my routine is that I definitely have found that electrolytes help me. So before I hop on there, I'm going to make some electrolyte water. You can see I've still got my crock pot out from making some healthy oatmeal. And this is the brand I like. I like NUUN, but whatever works for you. Ignore my messy kitchen. Okay, then I've got my filtered water. So I've definitely noticed a difference since I've started my electrolyte routine, because I think I just have I've got certain kinds of issues. And my doctor recommended that I start drinking more electrolytes in my water. So I have started to do that. So here we go. Let's get on the Averon. So as I've said, I feel kind of self-conscious doing this because I am no beauty expert. And I just, like you, I just do what I can and use what products I know of to use to make me look better. Now, for full disclosure, because some of you probably want to know, and I'll tell you about it, while I am using one of my Neutralyze cleansing pads, I don't wash my face in the morning with soap and water. I just use one of these cleansing pads. And you can see I'm only using half of a pad, and that makes them last a lot longer. So, and it doesn't leave too much residual moisture, so that will dry pretty quickly. So while I'm letting that dry, full disclosure about what kind of treatments that I have and what I do. So you guys know that I do the Omnilux. I use it regularly. I use it for 10 minutes a night, even though it recommends every other day. I do it for 10 minutes a night. I also periodically, I would say maybe 2 times a year, I get Botox around my eyes. Sometimes I'll get a little bit in my forehead, and sometimes I'll get a little bit in here so that my mouth doesn't droop. The only other thing that I do is Sculptra. Now, Sculptra, S-C-U-L-P-T-R-A. I think, Stuart, have we done a video on that before? I can't remember. But it is a filler that is not artificial. In other words, it doesn't even take effect immediately. You inject it, and then it works with your own natural collagen to build up fullness and volume over a period of time. And so that's what it does for me. And I'll put a link so that you can research Sculptra a little bit more. So that's what I do. Also, as a point of reference, I am 68 years old. I'll be 69 in December. And I would say my biggest beauty tip is to use sunscreen. And so let's start with sunscreen. I like this Neutrogena. I don't know if you can see that, Stuart. Let me see if I'm doing this correctly. Neutrogena liquid sunscreen. And sometimes I put this on my face, but mostly I put it on my neck. And that's how I start out, on my neck, my décolleté. And because it's not expensive, but it's not inexpensive compared to a lot of sunscreens. And so I use a different kind of sunscreen on the back of my hands and other parts of my body. But I really love this. And there's different forms of it, but I just like it because it's lightweight. Okay, then on my face itself, I put on some of this Day Glow serum. I've got a glare there, but I put on some of this Day Glow serum, and I'll put a link. This is a vitamin C, ferulic acid, hyaluronic acid, and alpha, can't read that, but anyhow, it's good stuff. It's magic stuff. There are different brands of this. I've showed you, they were on Amazon Prime, and I have showed you different options. And actually, I have found they all work pretty good, and they all work pretty similarly. They're an antioxidant treatment for your face. And for me, what it helps with mostly is the texture of my skin. So while that is drying, I proceed to my next step. I've already got some eye cream on. I put it on after I got out of the shower this morning. So now I'm just going to put on some concealer, and I am using the Maybelline Erase concealer. I don't know if you can see that. Like I say, I'm bad at this. I'm no beauty expert. And I just kind of tap it on. I don't put too much on. And this is in, I think it's just in light. Obviously, it corrected multi-use, and you want to get whatever color is appropriate for you. And I've used this stuff for years. And since I already have on eye cream, I just kind of tap it in, making sure I get the corners of my eyes because that's where I get some darkness. And then I can just kind of blend it in and down if I need to. Now my next step is I go ahead and I put on my eyeshadow. And lately I have been using this e.l.f. palette. And it is just a neutral palette. What's it called? Ombre 10, if you want to search for it. It's inexpensive, and I have found it works every bit as good as some of the more expensive stuff. I used to use Bobbi Brown in Slate, but then I sometimes had trouble finding it, and I found that this works just as good as the other stuff. Plus, it's got some sparkly stuff in there if I want to play with that. Typically, what I use, however, is just the basic taupe color right there. And I just put it over my eyes, a little bit under my eyes. And if this eye looks a little bit like I've already got some eye makeup on it, it's because I probably didn't do a very good job last night of getting all of my eye makeup off. And sometimes I don't mind that because I've got very pale eyes and pale eyebrows. Okay. Now, interestingly, I have found that what works best for me is if I just use my eyeshadow as my brow color, because as I get older, my brows are going gray. They're already kind of light to begin with. Stuart's probably over there just eating all of this up, aren't you, Stuart? Get it? Yeah, he's here for some other reasons. So, okay, so I'm using that same color. And I am just going to, and believe me, it's easier to do this if you're working in front of a real mirror than if you're working in front of a computer. It's this area right in here that for me always needs a little bit more definition. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This makes it so easy. I'm not getting out a bunch of different products. And this color seems to work pretty well for me. Sometimes I will use an actual brow product, but you know, a lot of times I don't. And then usually I have one of those whirl brushes, but I don't have one with me, and I kind of just brush it up so it doesn't look artificial and it kind of blends in smoothly. And yes, I can hear you say, Linda, it would be helpful if you would clip back your bangs. So I've done that. So back to my eyebrow treatment. So then I get one of these brushes and I just kind of brush my brows into place. And again, it's so easy because I'm just using one product, different brushes, but one product. My next step is I curl my lashes. So this is a Shu Uemura lash curler, and I think it is definitely better than some other cheaper options out there. Sometimes I don't curl my lashes at all, but typically I do, and this is the step. The next step for me is to curl my lashes. And this is what I do when I'm putting on a full face of makeup. Often I don't do that. I just will do a little slap and dash with eyeshadow, do my brows, just some sunscreen and a little bit of color on my face and lips, and that's it. But now the reason I do this step before I put on my eyeliner is because I don't want my eyelash curler to really get all gunky. And kind of gunky and messy. So now for my, if I can find it here, now for whatever I use as an eyeliner. And I use lots of different things. They're not real expensive. This is a jumbo crayon. I think it's NYX, but I'm not 100% sure. So you can tell I am not good at this. But I'll use Maybelline, I'll use whatever. And typically it's kind of a soft crayon. And in this case, I just kind of come underneath my brow line. Right there, underneath my brow line right here. Doesn't take a lot of skill. And I'll do just a little bit at the corner. And see where I messed up over here. A little bit at the corner. And then a little bit underneath. Right near the lash. And this is the part that overnight sometimes stays on, and it gives you kind of a nice little smoky eye effect when you wake up in the morning. Okay, so there we are. Now at this point, I am going to put on what I use as a foundation. And there's different kinds of things you can use, but I just basically use a tinted sunscreen. I don't right now have a lot of discoloration on my cheeks, but again, for full disclosure, I have rosacea, and sometimes I will get kind of a red mottling. But right now, fortunately, that's not an issue. So I just use some of this. This is Revision IntelliShade Original, and get it based on whatever your face tone is. This is a 45 sunscreen because I am a sunscreen fanatic. And this is basically what I use for foundation. Don't know how well this is or is not appearing for you, because I don't really know how to do this. I'm self-conscious about doing it. I'm more self-conscious about my procedure than I am about showing you what I look like without any makeup. Okay, so that is done. And it gives me pretty good coverage. Now, if I want more coverage, that's when sometimes I will use Jones Road. And you guys, I think I've mentioned this to you before. This is just a really lightweight foundation, and I don't really feel like I need any right now, but I'm going to show you how I use it when I do need it. And that is, I just take a very, very tiny dab. And you'll notice that I use my fingers to apply my makeup. I don't use a brush or anything. And anywhere that I might have redness, that's where I put a little bit of this Jones Road. Sometimes, if I'm being very, very casual, I'll just put regular sunscreen on, a little bit of this, and call it a day. Okay, now I'm going to finish up my eyes. And as you can tell, this doesn't take a real long time for me. It would take even less time if I was doing it in my natural spot, which is in my closet, in front of my mirror. I have told you many times that I like this Essence mascara. It is so inexpensive. It does such a good job. But there are other kinds that I like too. Most recently, I have used Ilia. Gosh, I'm so bad at this, you guys. You probably are just laughing at me. I use Ilia. This is a new brand. I really love their lip care products, their lip crayons, but this is their mascara. I always have a Kleenex, and I dab it. And then I just put on my mascara. And sometimes I'll do this very, very lightly. And sometimes I'll do it a little more heavily. I really try to get down to the lash line and then wiggle up. And if after I do a first coat, if I feel like I need a second coat, well, then I just come back and do a second coat. But right now, I think one coat is going to do it. Or one application, rather. Okay. I also like Bobbi Brown mascara. I think it's really good, and I have used it in the past, but probably my go-to is just this Essence because it's so inexpensive. It's like $3 to $4 a tube. And so there you go. There is my eye makeup. Pretty easy. Then there are a couple of different kinds of products that I use for bronzer and for my blush. And it kind of just depends on the effect that I want. I really do like the Jones Road products. However, I have found it kind of sticky. So if I'm going to be working out in the yard and getting sweaty to begin with, or it's really, really windy, I don't use it too much because, again, I feel like my hair will blow onto my face and kind of stick in my face, and I don't like that, or stick to my face, and I don't like that. But if I'm indoors, I don't really care. So it just kind of depends. So what I use when I am working outside is typically powder products. And for a contouring palette, I use this Revolution. And this is by Maybelline, I believe. I'm going to have to stop there because I don't know. And why did my... You would think that these products...
Is it shiny on the front? I thought I saw something gold sparkle.
Well, I mean, you would think that they would put the brand really prominently on their products, and they don't. Okay, I digress. Anyhow, you'll have to, it's at about 8:39, and I'll help you with the timestamps and all of this.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
It's all good.
So this contour palette is called Revolution, and here's a complaint I have about a number of these beauty products is you would think the brand would be very, very prominent on the product itself, but it's not. So this Revolution, I don't know if it is Beauty London or if that's the name of the color palette. I'm not sure if it's Maybelline or what it is. But that's another gripe that I have. If I were a beauty editor, I would probably know these things, but I don't. So I have one brush that I use for contouring. And typically I use this color right here, right there. And I just do it right below my cheekbone and almost all the way down to my mouth. That accentuates, makes your face look thinner and just a little bit more structured. Makes you look like you have high cheekbones, kind of cheat. Okay, I don't know if you can tell a difference or not. Sometimes I will use one of these sparkly ones and just dab a little bit on my forehead. And then I'm ready for blush. And again, when I'm working outside, I typically do like a powder blush. And I use this Catrice Air. And again, I will try to find all the links to this because, as I said, the brands aren't on here very prominently. And you can tell I've really used this. And I really like it because this one is coming apart. I need to order another one. It's inexpensive, and I think it mimics some of the more expensive brands. So I just put some of this, and it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it on the top of my cheekbones, down the center of my nose, a little bit on my forehead. And then my next step is I put on, and I love this. This definitely is Maybelline Fit. This is a compressed powder. It's matte and poreless, and I really like it. And during the winter, I use the lighter shade, which is, it looks like 001. I use the lighter shade. But when I've got a little bit more sun on my face, I use the medium darker. It's 128 Warm Nude. And what I like about this is that in addition to kind of taking away some of the sheen, but it also helps me blend in my contour and my blush. If I am going to be working outside, or if I really want to eliminate shine and really look like it's poreless, here's a great tip. And that is whatever kind of primer you use, you can use it. I use it on top of my makeup rather than underneath. And by the way, for those of you who are not interested in this and you come here strictly for garden content, then number one, either turn this off, or number two, just be a voyeur and you can examine what books I have on my shelf. That's it, folks. I mean, it really didn't take me very long. On my video camera, it shows 12 minutes, but I think I got up and went and got some other things that I'd forgotten initially. So it really doesn't take any time at all. My question of the day for you is, do you wear makeup every day? Do you wear it sometimes? Do you do a full face sometimes and a half face some other times? For me, I normally do a full face of all of my my skincare, my blush, my contouring, my sunscreen. I typically do all that with a little bit of eyeshadow and do my brows. Whether or not I do mascara is kind of optional. That's if I really want to be fast and kind of natural. Why? It's as much about protection for me as it is about beauty, because I have rosacea, and if I do not, even on my eyes, if I don't wear eye makeup, it really is a problem for me, and I'll have a rosacea breakout because my skin just wants to be protected from the sun, from heat, from humidity, from the elements. And for me, that is what makeup does. And then when we come back, I'll show you my new favorite lip liners and how I like to do my lips. And here we go. Here is the way that I like to do my lips. And this is a rather new product introduction for me. And I like them better than any kind of lip products I've used in the past. And that is the Ilia, there you go, the Ilia Lip Crayons. I love them because they just glide on so smoothly. I have them in 4 different colors. Now, a lot of these colors are all kind of similar. So keep that in mind. You might just want to get one really bright color. This one is kind of a brighter, it's called Blue Note. It's kind of a brighter pinky red. These others called Mauve, Genre, Banquette, all of these are kind of similar in tone, I think. And I can't really tell too much distinction between them. The one that's probably my go-to is the middle one that I have here. And it is, what is it? It is, I believe that's Mauve. You know, it might help if I put on my glasses. Oh no, I lied. It is Rhyme, not Mauve. Okay, so I love these because you can see just how easily they glide. And I could put this on and like stop here. And I do keep one of these lip crayons in my purse. So I could put one on and then stop here. Or typically what I do, because I think it makes your lips look a little bit fuller, if you have just a touch of frost on top, and I've showed these to you a million times. These I know specifically are Wet and Wild. And I get 2 different colors. I get these are the numbers, and I get these online, and I typically buy them in 2s or 3s, and it's 560B, which is Secret Muse, and it's also, and I also get 526C, which is Retro Pink. And depending on whether I'm wanting kind of a nude look or a pinky look, I will apply one of these 2 colors over whatever lip crayon I use. And in this case today, I think I'm going to go a little bit just more nude. And it's also, I think, when you use just a little bit of frost, I think it makes you look as if you have a little bit of tan. So, and I usually also keep one of these in my purse. And that's it, you guys. I'm losing my mirror down here. Another characteristic I take into account when I'm looking at different lip shades, and that is what shades make my lips look white. And there are definitely different tones and different colors of lipstick that will make your teeth look, did I say my lips look white? My teeth look white. And there are definitely different color sways that will make your teeth look more orange and yellow, coffee stained, or whiter. So there you go. So that is my get ready, my very clumsy, very awkward get ready with me for what it's worth. But so many of you have asked me, and there it is. One other product that I didn't mention that I use every morning because I think it makes a terrific difference. And that is before I brush my teeth in the morning, I put some Lumify eye drops in. And these really make the whites of your eyes turn white. I know some people have reservations about them, but my sister is an ophthalmologist and she does not, so I take her word for it. And I like to use these in the morning. They have to be in your eyes for 10 minutes before you put your contacts in, so that's something to remember. But I think that it makes a difference, and a subtle difference. And sometimes that's all we want is subtle differences to enhance our appearance, not to just completely make ourselves over with too much makeup, but just enhance our natural beauty. So thank you for suffering through that. I know it was torture for you. It was kind of torture for me, but so many have asked me to do it, and I do want to cooperate with you. So when we come back, I'm going to share with you a couple of other things, some events that we've got coming up, and also, something exciting that we're thinking about doing, but I want to know if you have any interest in it first. I have two really exciting things to share with you. Number one, if you are in the New England area, specifically around Falls Village, Connecticut, I am going to be there on November 8th at 5:30 doing a book signing for my new book, A Year of Garden-Inspired Living, that just came out last week while I was in Denver. I barely had a chance to even talk about it. I'm really excited about that. More importantly than me being there with my book, Janet Mavick is going to be there with her new book that I believe I've already showed you, but we'll put a link to Bird Haven Farm. And she is a gifted artist, jewelry designer, and just a brilliant gardener in general. And she's going to be there, and we're going to have a garden conversation with her. And then we are doing it at 100 Main with Anita, our friend that we met last year when we were in her and Bunny Williams' shop. So Bunny Williams is also going to be there. And the three of us are going to have a conversation about gardening. And if you want to join us, I really hope that you will take some time. If I would love to meet you, but more importantly, see these other amazing women and what kind of gardening wisdom they have to share. It should be a lot of fun and a lot of great shopping in the store itself because they've got all sorts of goodies. I think, Stuart, maybe let's put a little clip up right here of some of the shopping we did when we were there last June. So we are very, very excited about that. I'll get to see my friend John and Bunny again, and just some different wonderful people. And then when we come back, I want to tell you about a proposition. I want to ask you about a proposition and whether or not you guys might have any interest in it. So here's my proposition. Please let me know if you have any interest in it at all. It might be a crazy idea, but my friend Kristen from Garden Gate Magazine and I thought it could be fun. And that is coordinating a trip for some of you followers to come to Oklahoma City, spend some time in my garden spaces, visit some of the places that I frequent that are close to me, practically within walking distance. You could go to the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial, my favorite bookstore, Commonwealth Books, my favorite boutique hotel that's just within spitting distance of me, Mockingbird Manor, Bricks, and just visit some of these places with me, and then all of us would have a chance to get to know one another. So we're looking at about having 20 or 30 people here, either next spring or next fall. And just let me know if you would have any interest in doing something like that. Not necessarily maybe to meet me and see the garden, but meet one another, because we are trying to really establish and support a community here where those of us that have like interests can, just get to be friends. And I think that's an important thing right now. It's all about connection and community. So if you've got any interest in that, please let me know. We're only going to be able, I think, handle 20 to 30 people. So it will be first come, first serve. We will let you know as soon as we have any details, but let's not put the cart before the horse, Stuart. If you have any interest, please put it in the comment below or send us an email to support@lindavotter.com. Let me know your preferences on if you would prefer it in the spring or you would prefer it in the fall. And we want to tailor it to your wants and what you'd like to see here in the Oklahoma City area. So many of you come by the cottage, and I'm always sharing this kind of information with you when you come from out of state and you want to see what there is to see in Oklahoma City, which is just a wonderful, wonderful place to visit and a wonderful place to live. And so I thought it might be fun for us to do it maybe as a group. So let me know your thoughts on that. And if you do, we'll try to put something together. And lastly, my outfit of the day, mostly because I want to remind you about tulip planting time. So I've got on my Color Blends, this way, Color Blends t-shirt. Long sleeve t-shirt, and I've been getting lots of questions about that. When is it time to plant your tulips? Well, part of that depends on where you live. For me, in Zone 7B, I always plant them just before Thanksgiving. I haven't even gotten them yet. If you are farther north, you're going to plant yours a little bit earlier. If you face north, you're going to plant them a little bit earlier than because I face south. So just a few pointers on when you want to plant your tulips. My breeches, because I am working on my Everon today, my breeches are Lululemon leggings that I got as a gift from my kiddos. But I mostly also wanted to show you my outfit because
so cool.
I know Stuart and I have this in common. We love these Adidas tennis shoes, which are, I'm not much of a trendsetter or a trend follower, but these Adidas are really trendy right now. And more importantly, they are so comfortable. Okay, show your Adidas too.
A little dirtier, but
yeah.
still there.
So I have several pairs of these because I wear them all of the time as part of my walking life. They're so comfortable and kind of stylish. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this rather scattered, very different garden life installment today. It is all about garden living and creating beauty. And well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, if you like this kind of content, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, make a comment, and most importantly, share with others who might want to be part of this community. You guys have a great day.